Ich war kein Thief, Football Cast, we're here to light the fire. Spin facts and stats, you know we never tire. Bringing the heat up, that passion won't retire. Busting through the mic, our voices never expire. We ignite the spirit, never fading out. Light the torch, USC fans rise up high. On this podcast, we aim for the sky. Knowledge and entertainment never lie. Together we stand, let the truth amplify.
What's going on, Trojan fans? Welcome back to the Light the Torch podcast. Today, we got a special guest coming in today, and we'll talk about some spring football. It's what is it called? It's spring break for them, so we'll probably give a little bit of a grade or so, or just talk about what we've liked so far in this spring practice. And then we got a new commit that just happened on Saturday, so we'll go ahead and talk about that as well. But let's go ahead and introduce the guys first before we get into our special guest today. So, of course, to my right, we got B. Jones. How's it going, B. Jones?
I'm blessed, man. Fight on.
All right. Brandon Jones. That's his name. Brandon Jones is his name. So, for anyone who may not know, his name is Brandon. Same as me.
I thought it was Brian. Interesting.
And then to his right, we got Guns. How's it going, Guns?
Doing good, guys. Fight on.
All right, and underneath him, we got Raul. How's it going, Raul?
It's going all right. I'm just having camera issues, but fight on, guys.
Yeah, same with Guns, right? You're having camera issues too?
Happy to
All right, and then our special guest, if you're not following him on Twitter, I don't know what you're doing. He posts up a lot of clips about USC. He does some breakdowns of different positions. So introducing Kendell Hollowell. How's it going, Kendell?
I'm doing good, man. Appreciate you guys for having me on.
Yeah, of course. Appreciate you coming on. You know what? Let's put you in the center here so everyone can see you here. We'll put Guns at the bottom. So, but yeah. So, Kendell, go ahead and just tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us how long you've been a Trojan fan, or how you got into covering USC.
Yeah. So, I'm from out here in Southern California. Grew up in like Corona and like the Orange County, stuff like that. So obviously not that far from USC, and didn't go to a ton of games growing up, but like we would go out to, like, my family and I would go out to campus a lot, and obviously we were diehard fans growing. Like we always had massive, parties for the Rose Bowl and stuff like that. So like that was just like my whole life and stuff like that. And then as far as like covering USC, it's been 2 years now, so it's been a blessing. And I could have never imagined, like, growing up. I always like knew I wanted to be in journalism and stuff like that, but I never could have imagined like be able to cover USC. Just like this whole time when I was in college, and I used to cover like Alabama and Vanderbilt and stuff like that. I was like, if I can cover one spot, it'd be to go back home and cover USC. So being able to do this for the past 2 years has been incredible and nothing but a blessing.
Nice. So, what is it like going from like the SEC to back to Southern California and now doing it for the Big Ten?
Yeah, they're passionate in the South, I would say, to say the least. They truly do live football day and night, 24/7, 365, especially down there in Tuscaloosa. But just being back home, I mean, it's home, right? I mean, my family's out here. This is the team I want to cover again. I mean, we don't say it's the place to be for no reason. It truly is the place to be for covering, for watching, for just being a fan and a part of it. No, it's awesome. It's what I wanted to be. So this is good.
Awesome. Well, of course, we appreciate you hopping on here, and I'll put your X handle in the chat here. So if anyone wants to go ahead and give him a follow, definitely do that. He posts a lot of great stuff about it. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it, guys. So let's go ahead and start with the first topic here. So USC just added a 5-star. Well, according to On Three, other places have a 4-star. I don't understand why, but 5-star athlete Honor Falava Johnson commits to USC, and he committed on Saturday. And I'm not sure if a lot of USC fans had a mini heart attack when he picked up that green hat and then he finally realized what he did and picked up the wrong color and then tossed it into the stands. So so he has committed to USC, and he has publicly stated that he is shutting it down. So what are your guys' thoughts about Honor committed to USC? Give us your thoughts, Kendall.
He's next level. This kid is, if you want a Travis Hunter level two-way star, like this is it. He's offensively, I mean, we'll see what he plays. I mean, he can play running back, he play in the slot. Just give him the ball. I imagine his kind of role, if you guys remember like Adoree Jackson, that final year at USC, he had, I don't remember how he plays, but like they had packages for him. Like if he's in the game, they're going to try to give him the ball, or they're going to use him as a decoy or some kind of way. I imagine Honor's the same kind of way. And he, majors at safety and then minors on offense. I mean, he's too good not to play on both sides of the ball. But there's always years where there's certain players that you can't let out of California that you have to prioritize. And Honor is at the top of that list. So that's a massive gift for them.
Yeah. I remember the last player kind of like him that we really should not have let leave Southern California, which was what's his name? They called him Thomas. Yeah, he definitely should not have went to Oregon for that one. So I'm happy we were able to get him to stay. But yeah, what about you, B. Jones? Your thoughts?
Yeah, man. See everything that Kendall said, man. As soon as I saw this kid's film, I was like, yeah, that's the one. That's the guy that we cannot let get away. That's the must-get guy. So it's great that we got him, and we got him early. You know what I mean? So he can help build this class as well. Momentum's picking up, man. It's just you can't ask for nothing more, man. So imagine getting your top priority early. So,
yep. What about you, Raul?
No, mind. Just echoing what they said right now. Great get for us. He's a California kid. So Guns and I have been pushing for that for the past 2-3 years. So I'm glad that they're keeping that philosophy of just locking down California. And let me just make sure it's going to be impossible for those fans that think we're going to get every top California kid to stay at USC. It's going to be impossible with the current NIL. But I know that Lincoln Riley and the staff are definitely prioritizing California and putting a fence around it as well, right? So, and then best part of it was when he tells that damn Oregon. You guys know I've been publicly saying it, and I'll say it again.
Oh God,
forget Oregon.
Okay, he uses the different F word. What about you, Guns?
Yeah, I mean, this is a great get for us. I'm glad we were able to get him early, like B. Jones mentioned as well. Loved seeing the sword. That was pretty cool little thing with his commitment announcement. But yeah, Coach, I got to shout out Coach Dog and staff. Yep. I mean, Coach Dog is definitely a big piece on getting him to commit. And like Raul was saying, we're definitely shutting down California. All of our commits are from California. Like, the whole narrative that we're not shutting it down is I think long gone. But yeah, at the same point, you're not going to get everyone. It's a big state, So plus it's different times with the roster limits now. So yeah.
And it's great that we were able to get him to shut it down. And he's from another USC greats location in San Diego. Who's the follower that is a huge Padres fan?
Like Christen guy.
Christen. Okay, yeah, that's his name, Christen. Okay, yeah. No, I bet Kristen's definitely really excited about that, and he definitely has the ability to be that electrifying player that USC needs, and that coming from that backfield. Granted, we do have the electrifying players, but it's been a while since we've had. Like, I think Joe McKnight was the last kind of guy that. He was that lightning in the bottle that if you just got him into space, he could literally take over the field.
No, hold on. You're not gonna do my boy Zach Branch like that, man.
Okay.
Same thing about him coming out of high school. Come on now.
Yeah. Well, they got another one now in Trent Mosley, so
that is true.
No,
that is true.
No.
But it's great that we're able to keep him home, and Coach Dog is definitely earning his paycheck, and I'm hoping that they're in talks and getting him a raise, because that he has been pulling a lot of double time with his recruiting prowess. Like a lot of players are crediting him and saying that they enjoy what he brings to the table and what they meant to his recruiting. So,
Absolutely.
but yeah, anything else we want to say about Honor before we move on?
I just want to say something quickly. I mean, he's very loyal. To his city, San Diego, to his state. We were one of the first schools to even offer him back in like 8th grade, right? Obviously, it was different staff, I'm pretty sure, or maybe not. But again, he's very loyal. I mean, there's like big time high schools trying to get him to transfer, right? And he's staying loyal. So I think that's going to be a big thing for his recruitment as it goes on. So
yeah,
and then he seems like a very humble kid as well. He shouted out his entire family, which is great to see. He didn't make it all about himself. He was giving the flowers to all the people around him. So that's always great to see. And one kind of what Gunn said, he seems like a loyal kid. So I'm excited what he'll bring to the table, and not only on the field, but just this recruiting cycle. It's a great kid to have as one of the recruiting leaders for this class.
Yeah, he did mention that he has people that he's been hitting up to commit to USC, so that's definitely a good thing to have that kind of leader that's going to be that what is it called, recruiter for us, just like B-Lock. Yeah, B-Lock was he's this year's B-Lock. So, well, yeah. All right, let's move on here. So besides just Honor committing here, we do have some other updates from Guns. So go ahead and give us your updates for recruiting, Guns.
Yeah, so we'll start with Drew Fielder, Oregon commit, offensive tackle out of Servite. Again, we continue to hear great things with him. He's got the family connection. It's very strong. And at the end of the day, the kid doesn't really want to drag things long with this recruitment. So we'll see, in the near future what happens. I don't believe he doesn't visit Oregon until April. So, I wouldn't be surprised if he's back on campus after spring break. That'd be good to just keep getting him on campus. Dane Weber, and let's talk about QBs, kind of mold them together. So he visited Friday, loved his visit. Unfortunately, did not get that offer as the staff is still evaluating the QBs. So he's part of this gold tier group is kind of what we're hearing. So again, they're slow playing this position. That's kind of where we've already seen. But he understands that he's one of the options. There's about 4 options out there. Don't know the full names, but again, they're evaluating everyone. And again, the staff understands if kids move on from us. That's kind of the what happened with one of the kids recently. But again, at the end of the day, he loved his visit, and he's going to continue to have us in the mix. Makai Brown, a edge out of Connecticut, loved his visit as well. One of his top options moving forward. Being far from home could be a factor that was kind of slightly mentioned, but again, we'll continue to monitor how serious that is. But again, he really did love his visit this past weekend. And then Danny Lang, we continue to talk about him. He officially announced his commitment date, which is going to be this next Saturday. And again, we expect him to be a Trojan come this next Saturday. So good things in March for to be a Trojan.
Yeah. Yeah, there was that video, I think, was it Scott that posted it, of just the Coliseum being lit up, and there was like some modern day players being posted on the Jumbotron. So I don't know if that was maybe just kind of show, or just trying to, or maybe having a commitment video filmed. I don't know. I hope it's the commitment video, but yeah. So what do you guys? Go ahead.
I was gonna say quickly. It seems like that's what they been doing these last couple of years with Chad Bowden, right? Last year they did it with Tom. I think they did it with someone else that I can't remember. Just seems like that is like their last selling point, and pitch to get them over that finish line. So whatever they're doing there at the Coliseum is great. So hopefully they continue that.
Yeah,
it's a cheat code essentially. Having them walk around the Coliseum on Sunset. I mean, we all know what it's like in Southern California, especially when that sun starts to go down. There's no better sight, and they did it with Mark Bowman last year. That was another one. Him and Tom
okay.
together, and so did Talanoa Ely. they all did it in March, kind of around the same time. And I know for Lang, it's kind of, they had the modern day kids talking to him, which is, again, something that they should continue to use, because we all know the talent that modern day has. And when you're around them, it's like, we can just reunite. Like we dominated in high school. Let's just just run it back. And essentially that seems like what they're trying to do.
That's awesome. I wish I could be a recruit and be a high profile recruit and have that kind of special treatment. So
it's good. I mean, they just keep bringing him back on campus. I know Lang lives around the corner from school, like he's in the area. So just keep bringing him back. Same with Fielder, you're less than an hour away. It's something they started doing, especially last year, with the local kids that were committed. Like they were going to practice like every other day. And that's what they're doing again. Just keep bringing, especially the local kids, just keep coming back. I don't know what these kids, it doesn't seem like anybody is going to school anymore, because these kids are going in the middle of the day or in the morning. I'm like, I guess nobody has school anymore. Just if they're willing to come, then just keep bringing them back. And they seem to love it every time. They get acclimated more. All these kids know each other. Like I know I talked to Jordan Hicks yesterday. He's a 2028 kid, but he was like, I know everybody, Lockhart, Riordan, Crowder. He's like, I know everybody on the team. So if you just keep doing that, like they get to watch their buddies practice. They get an in-depth, I guess, a real conversation is what some of these kids have used as far as talking with players and like what it's really like at USC. So I think it's you get more of those kids from SoCal doing it. This is what the recruiting classes are going to look like moving forward.
So
yeah. No, that definitely helps them ease their concerns about coming to USC. Like they have other people that they know and have been on campus, so they know what to expect when they get to USC. So that's definitely an advantage for us. But real quick here, let's talk about what Walter has mentioned here. Honor mentioned that Texas and Miami was the other two schools in the picture, and I know a lot of people were kind of questioning about like a specific comment that he said that they're trying to get him on campus. What are you guys' thoughts about that? Go ahead.
I mean, he knows the rule. You know what I mean? So if he wants to go, I don't think he would have committed already. You know what I mean? So I thought it was pretty interesting too. But you know, the rule's the rule. It's not going to change for him. I'm sure Chad made him very aware of the rule. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think he, like Mark Rowe mentioned, he's a loyal kid. So
yeah,
you know, I think he means his commitment.
Yeah. I wouldn't put any heavy stock into it. It's a lot of people were saying stuff about B-Lock, saying that Oregon was trying to get him on there, and that never happened, and he even confirmed that. So people just want to say things, and yeah, like I fully expect him to continue to recruit for us, and that like reiterating what Raul said, that he's a loyal guy. So I'm not too worried about it actually. So.
Yeah. I'm not worried at all. Just, I mean, he had his entire family there. I don't think he would have done that either if he was thinking of potentially flipping down the line. I think he was probably just showing his respects to those schools and, you know, for recruiting him and whatnot. But, you know, the kid has said it himself that he's shut it down already as well, right? So,
yeah. At least he wasn't trying to be respectful to Oregon, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that's perfect with me.
So when it comes to Dane Weber, you said that there was 4 other quarterbacks. Was there any kind of mentions of any other quarterbacks that were in that gold tier?
Nah, the only one that was mentioned was Jamion Roberts, I believe was the full name. The kid that committed to Oklahoma. He was part of that group, so that was the only one that was really mentioned. They did not mention the other. It's actually 3, so 3 include 4 including Weber. So,
okay.
But yeah, they did not mention the other 3 guys. So,
if anything, quarterback's probably the one position that I hope we can get in this 2027 class, because I feel like we need to at least secure someone for the 2027 class. So.
Yeah, I would just say from a depth perspective, you know, I think we're all high on Jonas, obviously, into next year. But again, I just think that you want, right, 3 scholarship QBs, I'd say, just from a depth perspective. So,
Kendall, I have a question for you if you don't mind. I mean, you're
Yeah, what's
around
up?
these kids all the time, but you said you get the pleasure of talking to some of these kids. Any sleeper recruits that USC is targeting that you potentially may know of?
Sleeper targets. I don't know. I don't know if we consider like Jace Canyon a sleeper target. I know he's a 3-star from Sarah. Um,
Cool.
as far as sleep, I don't know if they have any sleepers because it's going to be a small recruiting class. I think we've all heard
Right.
that they're going to take about, call it, from what I've heard from Scott Schrader, they're only going to take about 17 or 18 kids. So it's going to be, I guess, as much high-end recruits as you would expect when you have that low of a number. But I guess as far as just like 3-stars, I think Jace Canyon is kind of the one that comes to mind just because where his star rating is at.
Okay.
It's cool.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to the spring ball halftime recap here. So let's go ahead and talk. We'll talk about multiple things when it comes to the spring ball, but let's go ahead and just talk about what we've liked that we've seen from the coaches aspect for the spring ball. So give us a few things that you are excited about or what you enjoyed seeing from the coaches, especially from you, Kendall, since you have the ability to see that. So let us know what you've enjoyed, from which coaches you've enjoyed watching the most so far.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much all the defensive ones. We could start with Gary Patterson. It's really refreshing because you can tell just like how much he loves being back in like a full-time role. Because like he walks he walks to practice. He's got this big like pep in his step. He's got a smile on his face. Like you can just tell like I'm excited to go to work. And then like you've seen kind of what him talking about, like he's watching film 24/7. Like he pretty much like lives at the facility. And
Yeah.
like we asked him like what are your plans for spring break? He's like same. I'm watching film. Like it's like that's not gonna change. He's gonna live at the facility over this past week. And what I love is like, especially with the new hires, and then also Coach Reed into this too, is that they're it's like a basic term, but they're like teachers, right? So instead of like assuming that a kid knows how to do something or knows a technique, like they're starting it from the beginning. Because like how many times have we watched them over these past couple of years, and they're either just misaligned, technique is off, and they're just bad on defense, right? And they don't develop the kids. So they're doing like, it seems like, I guess like, I don't want to call them like basic drills, but something. So like two things I noticed that happened. I saw Coach Reed doing this on Friday with RJ Sermons. So they're working like a catch technique, right? And he's like, instead of like telling them to do it, he's like essentially like lining up sermons. He's like, this is how it should look, and this is how you should move, right? Instead of just telling them like, this is the drill that we're gonna do. This is what it should look like. Same thing with Eckler. Same thing with Gonzalez. Like it's like they're doing drills. It's like eye discipline, communication. And it's like you watch it on film, and I guess people would be like, why are they just doing this? Like it seems basic. Like why are you putting emphasis on it? Look at the talent that they've recruited and what they have. If they can just be better aligned and better tackling all this kind of stuff, how much better they would be, right? We all know the talent that's on the roster. If they can just do better at those kind of stuff, they would just take it to another level. Gary Patterson is incredibly active when at practice. Like he has his hand on every single position group. Like he's not going and just like observing. He's going and he's like, Gary Patterson's 66 years old, and he's like showing the guys like the technique. He's like, this is how you should be backpedaling. This is how you should press, or this is how you should rush. And he's like doing the movements because he's so invested. And he goes to every single position group and he does this. Like again, he's very, very hands-on. It's just a high energy staff. Like again, it's the details that have been lacking on defense over the past couple of years. And we know what Patterson can do as far as player development because he did at TCU, right? They had low-end recruits. It was 2 and 3 stars. It's JUCOs. It's kind of, what's left of the litter. USC just brought in the number 1 class. They have a bunch of 4 and 5 star kids. We know he can develop. So we just got to watch and see what he does with them.
See, that's music to my ears. Everything that you just said, that's great to hear. So, all right, I don't know how you can top that, B. Jones. So go ahead and try.
I'm gonna try. No, man, but it's good. I don't think anyone has ever told Gary Patterson that he's 66 years old.
You know it.
Yeah. But no, man, it's great to see that guy's energy so high. You just kind of, when we heard about the hire, we're like, this old guy. I mean, is he gonna be able to really, you know what I mean? But then you see him, it's like, all right, yeah, he's got it. You know what I mean? He's got that it. And he's just a football junkie, man. And what more can you ask for? And former head coach as well, so he's full of experience. You know what I'm saying? So, and it looks like he's running the defense. You know what I'm saying? Like that's his role. Obviously, as a coordinator, but he's a head coach of the defense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, man, like this was a better hire than I thought it was going to be. So, then you add, coaches like Eckler and and just the things that we've seen from the newer guys, newer coaches, man, they're all high energy and like Cam mentioned, great teachers, man. The attention to detail is what I love about it, man. They're actually stopping guys and look, this is how we want it.
Yep.
Exactly this, and like Ken said, they pretty much got their hands on their back, like be here when you see this. You know what I'm saying? So these guys,
it's the repetitive reps that I really, really love. They do it, and it's like, especially Coach Reed, I do it like because like Reed has like a standard of like what it should look like or what you should be doing. And he knows, even if like the technique is right, if he knows or believes that you're not doing it to your best ability, hop back in line. We're doing this again. Same thing with Gonzalez, same thing with Eckler. They're doing it over and over again. It's repetitive. And when you can ingrain that in them, it's going to show up on the field.
Yep. Yeah. And that's a culture thing, man. You know what I mean? It's they say practice makes perfect, but perfect practice is what really makes perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
and I'll say one more thing about the coaching staff too, but Lincoln Riley, how they're doing special teams at the beginning of every practice, and he's up there coaching. Like he's like pulling guys aside to show them the technique. Like he's not letting other people run things. Like same thing with Patterson, has his hands on every defensive position. Same thing with Lincoln Riley with the as far as what they're doing on special teams. Like he's heavily involved.
So would you say that Lincoln has a new pep in his step?
He does.
Energized by the hire, by Gary Patterson hire?
I think they're all just feeding off of each other, essentially.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I think it starts with Eckler. Eckler is like, you can hear Eckler on the far side of the field. Like he can be all the way down, and you'll hear him like very, very clearly. That's just the kind of energy that he brings. And they're just gelling together. They do a really good job of like, as far as like, especially like with Patterson's coming and coaching, it's not necessarily, it just feels like him like taking over and like pushing the assistants to the side. It's like they're all three working in unison. And I see it especially with like Sam Carter and Paul Gonzalez in the secondary, and then Patterson's going to be heavily involved in those groups. And they're working off of each other. I think that's the big thing. It's not like, oh, someone's trying to overstep or push them aside. This is how it should be done. It's like they're all like communicating and they're all on the same page. And when you have that as a coaching staff, it trickles down to your players.
Yeah. And real quick, before his comment gets too high up there, shout outs to Christen for the $5 dono. Fellas, fight on. Kendell, do you agree that San Diego has some elite, talented high school football players?
Of course. Yeah. San Diego's that's a big area. Of course they have talented players. I mean, are they as talented as, are you trying to like compare it to like LA or Orange County? I don't think it's on, I'm not gonna say it's on the same level, but I think those are obviously like the top of the top. I think everybody knows that. I mean, that's where everybody's going from throughout the country to get their players. But San Diego, of course, has elite players all around every cycle. Yeah,
he's our residential San Diego fan over here. So if you say
better
anything ill will about
ball.
yeah, if you don't say anything bad about the Padres, or he'll come after you. So.
Oh no, I'm an Angels fan. So
Oh God.
Oh man. Oh
God. I'll put an Angels fan. I'm originally from Orange County. Like I grew up near.
Makes sense.
I mean, what do you want me to do? I'm a loyal person, so I'm gonna stick to my team.
I respect it. I respect it.
So wait, Lakers or Clippers then?
No, okay. Those two don't go together. Angels and Clippers don't go together. Every time I'm saying I'm an Angels fan, everyone's assuming that those two do not go together. I'm a Lakers fan. Nobody's a Clippers fan. There are no Clippers fans. That's not a thing. Like,
the guy next to you used to be a Clippers fan.
Once upon a time, my boy Paul George. Anyway, that's another story.
Did you switch over, or are you still a Clippers fan?
No, I haven't switched up. Listen, I'm not. All right, we'll get into this.
Yeah, we can go back and forth on this. Okay, let's go back to football here. Okay, so Raul, give us your thoughts about the how you feel spring practice is going so far. Oh, he's frozen. We'll come back to you, Raul. Guns.
Yeah, in terms of the coaches, I mean, just continue to love what I hear about Eckler. We talked about last year with the linebacker play. You can say that part of the reason, they were young. But yeah, I think he's gonna show up and give us big gains in that room. And then obviously the special teams, love seeing and hearing that Lincoln Riley's involved with special teams. Right, people have talked about, oh, he's just an offensive coordinator. He doesn't care about defense, doesn't care about any of the other facets of the game. And I think that's again, that narrative is long gone in my opinion. So I think it's great to see just what we're continuing here. And and lastly is GP. GP continues to impress me. I'll say it here. I wasn't as impressed with the hire, but he is growing on me, and I love it. And I'm excited for the season with him.
Yeah, for me, I'm going. I'll definitely. Here's Raul. We'll let Raul go. Raul, go ahead. Give us your thoughts about spring practice so far.
I mean, I haven't been able to watch a lot of interviews, a lot of film, to be quite frank. But the one thing that Kendell mentioned was that the Coach Patterson hire, I had high hopes for him, and I thought that a change of scenery for him would work wonders. As you guys know, sometimes a change of scenery is needed, and to kind of bring back that that motivation to do what you love, and it seems like that's the case. So excited to hear about the fundamentals, like you mentioned also about imagine you have these talented players already with all this skill set, and if you just focus on the fundamentals and just keep repeating the stuff, they're just going to excel when the actual game starts.
Yeah, like seeing some of the clips.
I don't know if you guys can hear me, but I'm having too much tech issue, so I'm gonna have to hop off and try to jump back in.
No worries. But yeah, so all the videos that I've seen, I've been enjoying Paul Gonzalez and Sam Carter coaching the DBs. Like you can see them like really coaching them and seeing them start implementing them after they do the drill, and they tell them, hey, you can't have your planted foot always on the ground. You have to at least move it with the other foot. Like as you move to the right, you have to keep moving the other foot. You can't have it stationary, then you have wide splits. And so that I enjoy seeing that. And then you just see out of the corner, you just see let me bring him in here. But then you see Gary Patterson just come in there and also start giving his input on it. So like the man's everywhere. Like you'll see him in one clip with the DBs, then you'll see him with the linebackers, and then Mike Eckler though. Like I love the fact that he still has the same visor that he had back in 2011 or whatever. The fact that he still has that, he's just tells me that he's been waiting since leaving USC to come back to don that visor. So it's so worn down, but you can still tell that. It's St. Essie on it. So I appreciate that, and his energy and having these kids happy and excited to play on special teams is something that when I played football, I hated being on special teams. I hated having to run backwards and run and go or block downfield or whatever. It was just not a fun thing. It felt like a punishment, but these kids are putting the same type of energy in doing special teams as they would being on defense or offense. So whether you're a starter or you're a backup or second team, you're excited to be on the field and contributing to the team. So I appreciate that fact that they're bringing that type of energy to this team.
Can I say one thing that I loved hearing from Eckler? This was during his spring press conference, and the thing about Eckler, like he's so calm when he's talking in front of the press. Like he's like, it's like a flip just like switches as soon as he gets in. Like it's like two different people. So he was talking and he was like, as far as like, so Eckler's been around forever. This is his 28th year, I think, coaching. It's like 23 at the FBS level. And he talked about earning the players' trust instead of demanding it. And I thought that was like really, really interesting especially as a football coach, right? Again, like he has this experience, he has the pedigree, but he's like, I have to come in and show you that I care, show you that I can teach you. And then when we have that like relationship and like, that trust, then we can flourish. I thought that was really, really interesting here because I've never heard a coach say it like that before. right? He's like, I have to earn their trust. They have to believe in me, not me coming in here that I've been coaching for 20 plus years and be like, you have to listen to me. You have to do it this way. And the fact that they're building that trust, I think you're going to see it on the field.
Yeah, that's definitely something like that. Like what you were saying, you shouldn't need to be able to, like, you shouldn't be told that you have to trust them and that everything that he's going to do is going to put you in the right position. But like just showing them that what you're teaching is going to put them in the right position, and just like get in their trust. What you were saying is definitely a key thing for these kids. They need to be able to trust you that you're putting them in the right position. But yeah, all right. So moving on here, let's talk about some players here. So,
I have a question before you move on. Sorry, I've been having tech issues, but Kendall, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
What's the biggest difference you've seen from this year to last year?
Biggest difference? They're bigger. I'll say that. They look different. I think that's like there's always teams, like the teams that are at the top of college football and the teams that are always in the playoff, like they like if you ever see them, like there's like a different feel to them, right? They just like they look. That's the reason why they're kind of at the top of college football. This year, like the impact of Coach Tremaine is vastly underrated. Alex Graham looks completely different from when he walked off the field in the Alamo Bowl. Like that kid is probably put on 10 pounds of muscle. He's big. Like he's gotten so much bigger. Same thing with King Miller. Like he looks different from last year. The freshmen that come in, they've talked about like the difference. I think you guys seen some of the Isaiah Rubin. I saw Isaiah Rubin posted it. Cameron Crawford posted it. Kind of their transformation. That's a lot of the players. A lot of them look like that. And I noticed that on the first day. I'm like, they just look different versus last year. And I think that's huge.
Yeah, the fact that they're getting a full off season with Coach True is definitely going to be a key for this team. But yeah, so let's move on here to just the players. So from players that are coming back from last season, who have you seen the most growth from last year to this year, Kendall?
Growth. So Graham is the first one. I think Graham is a star. I think his impact is going to be tremendous, especially like Gary Patterson's version of like the 4-2-5 defense. Like you have to be that true like run defender and then great in coverage. And I thought we saw glimpses of that right at the end of the season, especially in the Alamo Bowl. Now he's got game experience. He has a higher football IQ. Again, he's transformed his body this spring, so I think that part is going to be huge. Players coming back. Corey Sims is flashing really big in the spring. He's kind of flying under the radar because of the receivers that they brought in. And then obviously Boobie Feaster is going to join them in the summer. I've heard really, really good reviews about him. And I would say, I don't know, maybe Urlacher too on defense. I think Kenny Urlacher is, again, another guy who looks a little bit different this year. He was really, right, obviously he was a primary special teams guy until Ramsey and Fitzgerald went down, and the same thing at Notre Dame, was primarily a special teams guy. So at the end of the year, it was his like real first experience getting like safety reps in a college environment. He's moving a little bit differently. Again, I think that's the Coach True effect. And then again, I like the linebackers too. I'm really big, especially on Jaden Walker. He was a guy who didn't play that first year because he had the shoulder surgery. Last year's, I guess, like it's his real like first experience, right, in college football. He's moving good. Eckler's going to benefit him, so I really like what he's doing.
All right. What about you, B. Jones? Anyone that has stood out to you in the clips that we've seen?
Have y'all seen G-Day? Did y'all see his transformation? I guess you can call it transformation. He look like he's step on the bodybuilder stage right now.
Yeah.
The dude was a freak, man. I'm telling you, like, yeah, if he takes the jump that we all expect him to take, man, we're going to be doing some big things this year. But yeah, as far as, I mean, obviously I haven't got to see the guy, so it's kind of hard to answer that, but just based on what we're hearing, you know what I mean, and seeing pictures and everything, yeah, there's a few guys whose bodies just look different, man. You know what I mean? So they obviously Coach True been putting in work, and the best part about that is spring ball is going to be ending earlier this year because we started earlier, so they'll have even more time with Coach True. So they're not even done yet. You know what I'm saying? So they haven't even reached the form.
Everything is strategic that they're doing. Like you said, like they'll have that extra lift. That's the reason. One, because pretty much the whole roster is on campus because all the freshmen are there, and then obviously no spring period. So what's on the campus right now is what they're gonna have during the season. So they're like, let's go ahead and start spring practice now, and then like you said, they'll finish in early April, and then school's out at the end of April. So they'll have that extra month of more meetings, more lifting, and then they'll go into their summer program.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Job might be bigger than a Mini Cooper, and it's not like a knock on him. Like the dude, he's a big dude, and like I think he's definitely going to have a bigger impact this year. So that's one that is a sleeper, I feel like. But what about you, Guns?
Yeah, just somebody that from last season this year. I mean, I continue to hear great things with Cam Crawford. He's supposedly been in the backfield a lot during practice. Isaiah Rubin, he's definitely was somebody that wasn't talked about a lot or played a lot. In terms of the two deep. So he's definitely, I think, in the mix for the two deep now. I would say those two are the guys I would call out.
All right. What about you, Raul? Are you able to? How's your microphone going over there?
I had to jump on my phone, so hopefully you guys can hear me.
Yep, we can hear you.
Just Trent Mosley's been doing big plays after big plays on at least from what they've showing. So I'm pretty excited about what he can do on the field. We all saw it on the high school level, and doesn't seem like he'll have any. He's not going to stop this year. So I think he's going to continue, that success this first year at college ball. So that'll be one. And then kind of what Gunn said, Cameron Crawford and being very disruptive on the backfield. And I think he's going to take a big step this year, kind of what you guys mentioned with Coach True, and just building that strength and taking it to the next level is pretty exciting for next year.
Yeah, for me, seeing some of the clips of especially the DBs, RJ Sermons definitely looks like the guy that can be on the opposite side of either Jontez or whoever's going. He definitely looks like he can see some early playing time. I know he didn't get too much last year, but RJ Sermons, he looks very fluid. Like seeing the stuff that they've been posting about him, I'm excited to see him. And it's crazy that he's supposed to be a part of this class that we're recruiting right now. So. He has some early. He has the ability to really see the field. I feel like this year, like the DBs is. I feel like a very wide open spot, except for Jontez. Maybe Jontez, I think, is probably the guy that a lot of the coaches feel like is going to step into that starting role. But RJ Sermons can jump in there along with Rock Hill. But I'm excited for RJ Sermons.
They have a lot of talent in the secondary, especially at corner. They have and then Chasen Johnson is. He's another underrated guy. Like he would have challenged for a starting spot last year if he had stayed healthy. And I know obviously Coach Reed is really big on him. He's got really good size. He can run. I don't think Marcellus Williams. I think he's kind of become a little bit forgotten. I don't think he should be counted out. He gained a lot of experience last year after only playing 9 snaps that previous year. And when I look at player development, I look at growth. Everybody, all right, we all know what happened on the last play of the TCU game, right? And that seems like that's the only play that people bring up with him that's only brought, which is, I guess, really, I know it's really, really unfair. Because people forget that that's the big tackle he had at the end of at the end of regulation, right, to keep him out, which forced the field goal. So he had that tackle, and obviously he missed the one at the end. But as far as like player growth, look at what he was in the last month of the season, right? Especially the Nebraska game, the Iowa game, as I guess in like the Illinois and the Michigan State game, 2 different players. So he's got the game experience now. He's a little bit more confident. He's been more vocal this spring. I've seen him coaching up guys. They have a lot of young guys out there. So Marcellus is like leading the group as far as they're doing drills, but he's in there coaching up every single guy. Again, like not afraid of the competition that's there in the room. He's active. He's taking a little bit more role. So don't count him out for sure.
Yeah, like I think so. We did our 2 deep depth chart a few weeks ago, and I had Celis as my number 1, or on the opposite side of Jontez. So I'm hoping that still holds true for now. But
it's a really good problem to have. I really like you said, I really like Sermons. I think Sermons is, especially like last year, like he knew he wasn't going to play. Like that was a part of the plan. He used it to go in there to, right, because he was only 17 last year. And instead of, he's like, what am I going to get out of playing essentially another year of high school, right? I'm not going to really gain anything by playing these kids. Let me go to school early. I know I'm not going to play. I'm going to redshirt. Again, he's another guy. He looks different now. This is when he first arrived on campus. They traveled on him on the road games. So we got to get acclimated to the college environment and be around everything. Now he's ready to compete and ready to go. Like you said, he should have been a freshman this year, but instead of, doing whatever your senior year, he's been in the program for a year. He's had a chance to develop, and he's a little bit more comfortable out there now.
Yeah. All right. Well, since you're talking about some underrated players here, let's go ahead. Let's talk about people that you think should be talked about a little bit more. That I know we talk about a lot of these freshmen, but let's hear some people that you feel like should get a little bit more spotlight for this, Kendall.
You mean go non-freshman?
Yes, let's go with non-freshman.
Non-freshman. We'll start. Let's go. Riley Wormley. He's looked pretty good this spring. Again, a guy who came in hurt last year. He had that knee injury in high school. He came back and he pretty much was rehabbing all through spring and summer and leading into the season. So he really wasn't ready to go until like halfway through the year. He got to play a little bit last year. He looks good. I brought up Corey Sims. Heard really, really good reviews about Corey Sims so far. I think we've all seen the clips on social media. He's doing really good. I'm trying to think returning guys. I like Gallegos at safety. I think he's hyperactive back there. He moves around very good. We'll see if he can be a little bit part of that rotation. And then I'm trying to go somebody on the D line. I'll say Braylon Shelby, I guess. I feel like he has so much like untapped potential. Like the thing that always impresses on me, he's super long, right? Like he's big, he's more built now, like a Big Ten defensive lineman, but he's so long. And I think if he uses that a little bit better, then he can kind of get a little bit more to that double-digit sacks. And again, he's played a lot of football, and maybe he can kind of get there.
All right. I like those picks. What about let's go backwards here. Let's go with Raul.
Underrated guys?
Yes.
I mean, it's tough since we don't get the ability to watch them, but I'll just say who I could potentially see as a sleeper is Jaw Jarrett. Like I mentioned a few shows back, that I think Jaw Jarrett could make a huge jump this upcoming year, just with his size and getting another year under his belt here at USC. I think he can make a huge jump for us.
All right. What about you, Guns?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta agree with Kendall with most of what he said. I mean, Riley Wormley is a good one. Doesn't get talked a lot, but seen some clips on him, and he, towards the end of the season, he, did some nice things at the end when he got healthy and was on the field. We're huge Marquise Gallegos fans, so obviously got to shout him out. And then one more, I'm gonna say. I mean, I mentioned him already, but I think Ruben. I'm getting on board with him more and more as this spring camp goes on. So I'll say he's underrated as well.
All right. What about you, B. Jones?
It's about time y'all finally come on the Ruben train, man. No, but yeah, obviously Isaiah Ruben, man. Marquise Gallegos, like you guys mentioned, we're very big on him over here. Another guy that I think is underrated. Let's see. There's so many, man. We got so much talent on this team right now.
There's one I'm surprised you haven't talked about yet.
Elijah Newby.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sticking to that, man. Eli Newby is a freak athlete. Obviously, we haven't seen him this year, but I don't think anything has changed in that regard. The guy can still ball, man. From what I've seen, I'm looking forward to seeing him. So, yeah, man. Eli Newby is definitely being slept on. Well, at least he was last year. We don't know what the coaches feel about him right now, but I'm hoping that this is the year for him.
I really like Newby. Newby, as far as I guess players that I've talked to, Newby might be my favorite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of his. I'm rooting for him.
So,
All right. So for me, one that he's probably got lost in the shuffle, and I'm surprised also B Jones didn't say him as well. But Prophet Brown, of course we love Alex Graham here, but Prophet Brown, he was going to be that nickelback before his freak accident. So we can't forget about Prophet Brown because he definitely has the ability. He's shown a lot of flashes, especially when we would during like bowl games. He's definitely been a standout in bowl games, and then. Also, for me, I want to see like Floyd Boucard. He was injured a lot last year, and he had a lot of great plays for us last year. And it's just he needs to be a little bit more healthy and more readily available for us. So I think Floyd Boucard is definitely going to take a major step, and he's still very raw when it comes to his football career. Like he's from Canada, he plays hockey back there, so it's definitely going to be interesting to see him be a fully healthy and just seeing him on the field more often. So I'm excited for him. I was really excited when we stole him from Oklahoma. So I'm really excited for Floyd Boucard.
So Prophet is playing safety right now in the spring. He's taking a lot of reps. He's taking a lot of reps at safety. Yeah, the same with this was new too. Tristan Castro is also taking reps at safety now because they have so many corners. So they're trying to create some more depth at that safety, right? They lost. We know they lost Ramsey and Fitzgerald, and they didn't add anybody in the portal. So they're kind of really thin at that position. So they have been, trying out new guys. D. Reddick is another guy. Instead of playing nickel, he's primarily been playing safety. So those two guys. So it seems like as far as like nickel, it seems like, I think we kind of knew that Alex Graham is kind of locked into that position, but they are trying to do a little bit right now by moving some of those guys around.
All right. Okay, so this question is going to be exclusively for you, Kendell, here. This is going to be about the freshmen. Give us one freshman on offense and defense that you think has the highest potential to start week 0.
One. I can only give you one.
One on each side.
One on each.
Why are you limiting his knowledge here?
I
Let him cook.
To limit everyone because it makes people think. It makes their
somebody B Jones.
Yeah, B Jones has been kind of ruining that for us. But this makes you think and makes you think about your choice. So.
I could use a lot of names. I'll start with Bowman, I guess.
Okay.
I'll start with Bowman at tight end. On defense to start, I guess Wayful. If anybody's going to start, I don't think any of the freshmen are going to start on. I don't even think Wayful starts, at least to begin the year. I don't think that Wayful starts. But I guess if anybody does eventually, it'd probably be him, or Winfield. But it's probably Wayful if I got to pick one.
Okay. All right. See, B Jones. That's how you pick one. All right.
That's a limit. That's too low because there's, especially on offense, there's a lot more.
Exactly.
Yeah. Offense, Mark Bowman's probably one of the I would say the safer picks when it comes to this starting on offense because the wide receivers, there's so many wide receivers for that, and also the offensive line. When we did our depth chart, we're rethinking our depth chart for or at least our 2 deep right now. So, but yeah, so let's see what the chat has been saying. Is if there's been any kind of questions. If you have any questions for Kendell, definitely go ahead and drop them in there, and make sure it's not questions that can get him in trouble with Lincoln Riley because we all know all about that. So we don't want his credentials to be ruined from this. So, but questions about Ramana Bulabalavu here. So, what have you seen from him?
Not a ton. He's it feels like again, I'm never going to count anybody out as far as depth chart wise and who can play and stuff like that, because if they wouldn't be at SC if they weren't talented, right? So I'm never going to count anybody out, but especially at interior defensive line, there's a really big uphill battle.
All right, let's see what else has anyone been posting here.
How's Walter Matthews looking out there? I don't know. Is he currently practicing, guys?
Yeah, so same deal. He's still playing tight end. He might be a little bit bigger now. He's like 280, 285. We'll see. Again, like they if he can block good, because they need that, right? Because McCree and Lions were really good blockers for them last year, and they're gone, and you never want to necessarily always count on that. I mean, that's why they got the Ashcraft from Wisconsin for him to block. But if they can have more of those guys, especially if they want to be able to run the ball a little bit more this year, he can kind of find that role.
Okay, talking about some of the transfers though. Out of the transfers that we did pick, who's impressed you the most?
Terrell Anderson. I'm a big Terrell Anderson guy. I think he's only starting to scratch the surface on what he could be last year at NC State. He's a former top 100 recruit. He's incredibly athletic, which is big. Like he's a little bit, I guess, built more than I thought he was coming in. Like he's a little bit stronger, especially in the upper body, than what I initially thought, just from watching him on film. So again, like that's another guy you can tell is really committed to the weight room. He's he moves good. He's smooth. He's got experience. He's what they need. You just got to build that rapport with Mayava.
All right. Talk about Andrew Van Summeren.
Strong. He's it's like a cinder block, right? I mean, just down there in the middle is just stout guy. Again, another guy with a lot of experience. I don't know if he starts. Again, like they got some really talented guys. I think my picks would probably be Stewart and Abasiri if I had to pick right now on who's going to start on the interior. But he's certainly going to have a role. Again, I really like what they did, especially this past year in the portal. They weren't very, very active, and they never were going to be for whatever it was. NIL reasons, I guess the freshman class taking up a lot of the roster spots too. So they weren't going to be like, 15 players. That just wasn't going to happen. But they brought in guys that had Power 4 experience. They're not all stars, which you're not always going to find in the transfer portal. But like, again, Anderson was productive at NC State last year. Van Summer has been productive at Michigan State, and that's kind of been the problem a little bit with some of these transfer portal guys. It's whether, we think that he can be this, or we have a projection, or if we kind of bring him in, they know what they're getting, but they also think that they can take him to another level. I think that's important.
Right.
All right. Anyone else have any questions for Kendell while we have him here?
I have a question. I mean, what's your favorite thing covering USC? Is it what would you say?
I love traveling. I think that's always a fun thing. I think always getting to see new stadiums, and I like staying in hotels. I like just going out, and that's a fun thing to kind of go do, especially like some of these cities. I know, like obviously, I'll stay in Chicago, which is always a fun weekend. Just exploring Eugene and Portland and Illinois and stuff like that. That's always fun. Just you're there for a couple days. That's kind of what I like, to see what they got, eat some good food, go watch some football, check out, especially Big Ten, right? There's always incredible stadiums. Going to check those out. And I guess just the relationships with some of the other media people. I don't know how you guys all feel about everybody, but I love them. We have really good conversations before practice, during practice. We've all got a chance to bond on some of these road trips. Like we go out and, get drinks the night before. I know like Ryan Carty with LA Times, me and him would go get dinner after games and stuff like that. So I think just getting to know them and learning from them, and because they've all been around, right? Everybody's known Scott Schrader forever. Obviously Ryan Abraham's been around forever. These guys have been in depth. Like these are guys that I would follow and stuff like that and try to learn from as I'm in college and trying to learn and stuff like that, and especially just gain my USC knowledge. So to actually be around them and talk with them and just build those relationships has been incredible.
All right. Well, since you're excited about the travels, which game are you most excited to go travel to?
The Penn State one for next year, Penn State, because that's probably going to be the whiteout game.
Yeah.
That would be number one. We'll figure out the traveling, because I've heard it's kind of a a hassle to get into Happy Valley, and all the big cities are kind of far away. I would say that one, and then I don't know. I guess Indiana, just because of the hype of last year, right? Like, what is it actually like in Bloomington? And I've known some people that have gone to Indiana and they've liked it out there and stuff like that. So I think just again, that it's the defending national champions, and it's a new era, and that's just it's a marker for, I guess, for the program and what happens in that game. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I might try to make some of those games. I'm currently myself. I'm in Minnesota, so I'm close to a lot of those areas. And I went to the Purdue game last year when it rained for a couple hours or so. That was miserable. I might try to make that Wisconsin game. That one might be fun.
That one's probably going to be the Friday night game, would be my guess.
Is it?
Because they're always going to pick one, and they're never going to pick, obviously, their marquee matchups. So if they're on Oregon, Ohio State, and Indiana, like those won't be the Friday games. I'm trying to think. It's Rutgers at the beginning of the year. That's the first Big Ten games. That's one. Wisconsin. And then they have one at home. I can't remember the top of my head. It's like in November and stuff like that. But like
make it Washington. Make Washington the Friday night game. I'd be okay with
it.
Yeah, that depends. I think on where
actually
both teams are at. I guess they're ranked, because I mean, if they're both ranked or up there and stuff like that, they're not going to make that. It's got to be. It's like we all seen the games, right? They've played Northwestern and then Rutgers on their Friday night games, so we know it's going to be a lower end on their schedule.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that makes sense. And plus, then right after that, then we have Penn State, and then before that, we have Oregon. So I wouldn't want a short week against Washington. I guess that makes sense. So.
I'd prefer it if it's the Rutgers game to have, I guess, kind of get it out the way and then have that extra day for Oregon.
Yeah, that is true.
That would be big for them.
Oh wait,
I have a tough question for you, Kendall.
Yeah.
Who's your USC Mount Rushmore?
Ooh, the Mount Rushmore. Reggie Bush, right? We can always start there. Matt Leinart, because he has the 2 championships. Oh man, I gotta get a defensive guy in there. I don't know, either Ronnie Lott, I guess.
Okay.
And then I don't know. As far as like pure like talent, like it's Caleb. Like as far as like most talented players that they've had, but it's hard to put them in there because they have national championship teams, right? They have people that have won championships. So it's hard to put them in there. I'll put them in there for now. Give me a little bit of time. I'll throw them in there for now. Just that might be a little bit recency bias, but I think just like as far as like pure talented guys that they had, like it's Caleb.
Okay. Well then, since you're going to keep him there for now, we'll have you on probably closer to the season or so.
That's not a good answer. Don't hold it against. Tell the fans, don't hold it against me. That's not a good answer. I know it's not. Like don't get a little bit more. Don't put that on me.
No.
What's your favorite USC memory that you remember as a child, like childhood?
Favorite memory. The Notre Dame game, obviously the Bush push, that's like that one sits up there. That always does. That's one of my first memories of watching football, especially. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I really, it's an older one. I really loved the Rose Bowl, the Penn State one. I don't know what it was, but I think just like, I know we had like a big thing with my family, like all of us, like we had the game on like 4 different TVs in our house and stuff like that. We had that many people around.
Nice.
It was a comeback. It was just like, I don't know, like the nostalgia around it. Like it felt like old school, like Rose Bowl, like USC football.
It did.
So that might kind of be up there for me.
See, I love that game and I hate that game at the same time because my sister just randomly sent me a picture of her at that bowl game because she's like, "Oh look, one of my friends gave me one of his tickets." I was like,
why are you hating at your sister, Blackiechainz?
Because she
should have been happy.
Because she doesn't really follow football like that.
Yeah,
that's the Super Bowl every year. Like you just see like the biggest. You're like, I know you don't watch football. I know you don't know what's going on, but you had 50 grand to spend on a ticket and you're in the biggest suite and
Yes.
the game and stuff like
The
that.
fact that she got it for free too, and it was a last minute thing. Like she literally decided that day that she was going to that game. I was like, I wish I could just decide to go to that game. Whatever. She got me some good merch from it, so I'm okay with that.
Hey, you could always come back out here. Like, no one told you to move to Minnesota.
Why is it so expensive out there?
Yeah,
I have to answer to that.
I don't know, man. You can't blame me on that one.
Minnesota's cheap as hell. So that and plus my wife is out here, so I have to have that to consider. So yeah. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Well, we all appreciate Kendell jumping on here, sharing a lot of his knowledge, a lot of great tidbits that we got from practice that, for the most part, we're never ever going to figure out unless somehow we can get our credentials to show up to those games. But eventually we'll get there. But we really appreciate you, Kendell, and appreciate
Go follow Kendall on Twitter and what other platforms do you have?
Yeah, so I'm on Twitter. You see me right there, @KHollowell_. I'm on TikTok. I don't even know my name. Kendell Hollowell. Just type in Kendell Hollowell. I don't know. There's a bunch of USC clips in there and stuff like that. I do some videos of like practice footage and stuff like that. That's all in there. I'm on Instagram, Kendell Hollowell 7, Kendell_Hollowell 7. I'm on Instagram. And then I write on USC Trojans on SI. So if you want to go check out my work, I throw a lot of practice notes in there, observations, all that kind of stuff. So go ahead and check all those out. A bunch of recruiting stuff. So that's where I'm at.
All right, I'll put your profile up there as well. So there's his profile from Sports Illustrated. So definitely go ahead and check him out. He does a lot of great stuff. Always posting some clips about games and all that. So we really appreciate you being on here. We'll get you back on here eventually. But other than that, guys, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss the next time that we go live. And until next time, guys, keep the torch burning bright. As always, fight on.